Good morning. Yesterday I talked, and the day before I talked about some emotions. I talked about worry and anxiety, and today I'm going to talk about doubt. And you might be thinking, is doubt even an emotion, or is it more of a mental state? And you could probably argue both. So in my thinking right now, there's two ways to look at this. Firstly, the way our doubt makes us feel, and secondly, the way our feelings make us doubt. So this morning I'm going to talk about the way our doubts make us feel, and then tomorrow I'm going to talk about the way our feelings make us doubt. So the way life rolls, there's a very high chance that most people listening right now have at some point in their life been faced with what feels like an impossible situation, a broken relationship, a health issue, money problems, addiction. And no matter how hard you try to think positive, to kind of bend your will, to turn the situation around, you just can't do it. And that giant of impossibility just keeps on coming at you, and doubt floods your heart. It makes you feel powerless, hopeless, anxious, fearful, even guilty. And in the Gospel of Mark, which, if you don't know, it's like a biography of the life of Jesus in the Bible, and there's this unusual story about a man whose son was possessed by an evil spirit. It's in Mark chapter 9, verse 14 to 29, if you want to read it. But basically, this man's son has been tormented by this evil spirit since he was a young child, and the spirit would just come on him randomly and take control of his body, sending him into some kind of seizure. And it says in the story that this spirit would often throw him into the fire and water to try and kill him. And you can try and imagine how this would make the father of this son feel. All that stuff I mentioned a second ago, and some, because personally I can't think of anything more distressing than watching your child go through something like that, and you'd feel completely powerless to do anything about it. So this father, faced with this giant of impossibility, is just consumed with doubt. And all those feelings of anxiety, hopelessness, fear, guilt, constantly knocking on the door of his heart and won't let down. And he's tried everything he can, but the situation is just too much. And then someone walks into this man's world and changes everything. The father had heard about this man Jesus in the story, his kindness, his authority. He'd seen the way other people's lives had been turned around, healed from sickness and diseases, delivered from demons, even relationships restored. But the doubt had so overwhelmed this man's life, he couldn't see a way through. Even Jesus' disciples tried, but couldn't make the boy well. So he turned to Jesus with his heart full of doubt and asked him, "If you can do anything, Jesus, take pity on us and help us." And Jesus replied, "If? Did you just say, if you can do anything? Everything is possible for him who believes," Jesus said. And so immediately the boy's father exclaimed, "Well, I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief." And I love this because what it says to me is that actually it's okay to doubt. In fact, if you think about it, if you didn't doubt, then you wouldn't need faith. Faith isn't the absence of doubt, but doubt is the substance of faith. You need to experience the emptiness of doubt before you can be filled with the fullness of faith. And this man, having met the one person for whom nothing is impossible, shares his doubt, lays it all out on the table. And Jesus takes all of his doubts and the little bit of faith that he has and does something incredible. He takes the man's son, he rebukes the evil spirit which leaves the boy half dead, and then Jesus picks him up from the ground and restores him back to full health. And maybe, just maybe, as you listen to this story, your heart and your mind is full of doubt. And that's okay. But just imagine what could happen if you let Jesus into your impossible situation right now. Give him your doubts. And if you've got any faith, give him that too. And see how he can turn things around today. Make this your prayer today. God, I do believe. Help me overcome my doubt. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.